Hey everybody! Welcome to today's live. As always, I'm Candy, your beautifully basic girl. Da-da-da! Just as a quick heads up, they are doing reconstruction on my pool. So if you hear buzzers or construction noises, please give me some grace and compassion, but the show will go on. Just in case you hear any background noise, it's just the pool being worked on. But welcome everyone. As you come in, please like, subscribe, and share with a friend. As we get started, just wanted to say hi to everyone. Hi, Jillian Wade. Hi, Fawnberry. Young Rich. Yes, come through. Hey, Micheline. Yes, this is a story that keeps on giving. So again, just showing some love. Hey, Jillian, can't wait, girl. Yes, this is about to get really, really good. And just so everyone watching, today's conversation is going to be dissecting Marcella's interview that she did with Kimpire, really giving her side of the story, really getting a new look into what she was feeling, what her objectives and motivations were, and where she stands with Monica and all about the tea. That is linked down below if you guys haven't seen it or want to go back and refresh it. Hi, Fawnberry. You ready? I'm ready too. Yes, I'm Young Rich. Woo! Hey, Micheline. All right, so let's dive in. Let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to say is that I am so happy that Marcella came out and gave her side of the story from her perspective in her own words. I have a newfound appreciation for her. I'm not going to front. I'm going to hold my hands up. I was definitely on the side of she was paying her way on the panel, that she kind of had this off energy. A lot of people said she had a really negative. I never had a problem with her voice. I actually thought it was kind of sexy. That voice, I kind of thought it was sexy, but whatever. But people just thought she had a really bad energy, kind of had a bad attitude, was really raunchy, and that she definitely paid her way onto the panel. And honestly, I believe that too. I really thought she was paying her way onto the panel. But according to her interview with with Kimpire Daily, when she was giving the super chats, she thought that the panel was getting a part of that money. But we all know messy, narcissistic, greedy Monica was keeping all of the super chats for herself. And I believe Marcella when she says that, because when she said it, I actually thought, again, if you're hearing construction, so sorry, they're working on my pool, but we're going to party and kiki anyway. Okay. So when she said that, it actually dawned on me, and I was like, you know what? I thought the same thing too. When I would be watching and I would see all the super chats and Marcella's and everybody else's, subconsciously, I did think that everybody was getting a piece of the pie. Like, obviously, Monica would get the biggest piece of the pie because it was actually her platform and her show. But subconsciously, you know what? I did think that the panel was getting some percentage of the super chats, but that wasn't true. They were getting $200 to $300 a month, and that's it. Again, I think that speaks to why this has been such a big story, and yes, a story that keeps on giving, because it was just the level of betrayal and greed, and just the level of straight up manipulation. She was getting how much money a night doing that. And so when Marcella said that, I was like, you know what? I low-key thought the same thing. So it wasn't that Marcella was trying to buy her way onto the panel. I guess gift giving is just one of her love languages. Giving gifts, giving money. She has disposable income, and this is just a way she chooses to share her money. So I was really happy when she came out and said that. And then another thing I'm really happy she came out and said was she got tied up with Monica. It was the beginning of the pandemic. Marcella lost 7 people in her family to COVID. I can't imagine. We lost 2 in mine. So I know what that feels like. I know what that grief and that loss feels like. And then she also said that she had lost Kyle. I didn't follow the Black socialites. I didn't follow them, but now I know what he was doing, and he was the blogger, and it was all of the drama with little pissy Candace and her pissy husband Chris, all that stuff. So she had lost her friend Kyle, and then sneaky snake Monica wanted to come in and capitalize on her grief. And I think the reason, and I have a few reasons why I think Monica did this. I think Monica preyed on Marcella, one, because she wanted access to the tea and the gossip and the behind the scenes that Marcella had through Kyle, because Kyle's Black Socialites was its own, pop culture reality TV gossip platform or whatever. So Monica wanted access to what Kyle had access to, and she was going to get it through Marcella. And she did, if you think about it, because Marcella does have ties to the people in the DMV. Monica wanted so desperately to be friends with Monique Samuels. Marcella and Monique Samuels are actually friends. They actually hang out. They actually know each other. Marcella is wealthy. She lives in the DMV. She is amongst that society. You may not think it because she comes on the show. She has her Henny. She's smoking. She's talking about sex with her one-legged husband and all of this stuff. But that doesn't mean that she's not a society woman. Just because she has these other vices and this other side to her personality, it doesn't mean that she's not wealthy. It doesn't mean that she doesn't have access to these people in society. And I think Monica wanted that access. She wanted access to Monique Samuels. She wanted access to the DMVT. She wanted access to Marcella's money. Marcella was giving so much money while she was on the panel. And Monica wasn't sharing it with anyone. So I really think that Monica exploited the grief that Marcella was going through. And I do still stand by that. Marcella has a deep wound where she wants acceptance. She wants community. She wants womanly and maternal. Maternal, I don't mean motherly. I just mean like that womanly bond, because she did have an abusive mother growing up. She just lost 7 people in her family. Her best friend, Kyle, just died. So she is at a very vulnerable place in her life. Monica comes in and scoops in, not because Monica cares about Marcella, but Monica cares about the access that Marcella gives her to money and tea and gossip, the DMV, to the Monique Samuels of the world. So evil avatar Monica totally played on Marcella. I think where it became really, really toxic on the panel was what Monica did, which is what classic narcissists do. They divide and conquered. They kept people in their own separate bubbles so she could control the narrative. She can control what's going on, because she didn't want everyone to come together and really talk about, wait, how much are you getting paid? Wait, what did Monica tell you? Wait, what's really going on? What's really good? What really happened? Because if you listen to the interview that Marcella did, she said that once she actually talked to Plez and explained to her everything, her and Plez were able to make up. It was the miscommunication. It was the no communication. And to me, I think it was the purposeful dividing and conquering on Monica's part that kept everybody divided. It kept Schoolboy being her flying monkey and doing all of her, gossip and bringing people down and telling Plez off in her life. It kept Plez feeling isolated and like she was being singled out and nobody liking her. You see what I'm saying? It kept Princess on the outs. It kept so debonair on the outs. And Monica straight flat up lied on her fake interview when she came out with that weird Jezebel spirit. Dr. Griffin was interviewing herself, basically reading a script. She lied and said that Marcella was basically still on her side, when Marcella told her straight up, I'm out. You need to come out and you need to apologize. And now that I see how everything has been moving, how everything grimy is, I am out. Bishop was telling the truth. Marcella was out. Bishop was out. But Monica wanted to continue to demonize them, and Monica wanted to continue to use them. So I am so happy that Marcella came out and gave her true, honest assessment. I took some other notes to make sure I got everything. Group share delusion. Marcella didn't quit. Yeah. So let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Let's get some questions going. And thank you all for being here. Don't forget to like the video. Put the channels in. Hey, Darren Hood. Hey, hey. Hey, Young Rich. Oop, Queen getting that new pool. Yeah. yes. They are working up on the pool. I'm excited. Hey, Jeanette. Hello, beautiful Candy. Hey, beautiful Jeanette. Mika, hey, can't wait. I know, we about to get in it. Guys. Hey, Wendy Lucas, good day, beautiful. Good day to you too. Hi, May, if I'm pronouncing, or is it Mia? Let me know how to pronounce it. Hey, girl. Hey, beautiful. Hey, Malika Bros. Hey, y'all. Let's get in it. Hi, Latasha. Greetings. Yes. Hey, Micheline Pierre. I believed every word Marcella had she no bite in the fight. I believed every word Marcella said because she had no bite in the fight. Yes, I agree. Marcella had no dog in the fight. So she had no reason to lie at this point. Marcella has her own money. Marcella has her own thing. She had no reason to lie. I agree with you, Micheline. I agree with every word Marcella said, and I believe her. And I think that a lot of the negative energy that people had received from Marcella, because honestly, I'm going to put my hands up. I thought she was kind of toxic, and I thought she was kind of negative too. Like, I totally believe that. But now looking back on it and hearing Marcella's version, and then now knowing how grimy Monica is, what it seems to me was that Marcella was grieving. And I think that her grief came across as negativity because we didn't have that context to know where she was at. And I think like a lot of us, like I know for me, like it was during like that, I know the pandemic is like coming to an end or whatever, but I know like during the pandemic itself, going to watch All About the Tea was a relief. It was a daily thing I did. You know, I would laugh. I was a teacup in the comments, chit chat and kiki and cutting up fun shade. And it was a nice relief. It was a nice little online community. And I think that's what Marcella was wanting too. But I think because we saw the Henny, we saw the raunchy sex stuff. She came in during a very, in a toxic, dramatic way when it had that whole Soul Debonair fight, when Princess disappeared but then came back, when her and Schoolboy had that very awkward confrontation about mothers and stuff. So when she came in on the note, on the piggybacking off of a fight and negativity and a blow up. So then she became associated with that. So I totally understand, how Plez was feeling as well. Because if I was Plez, I would have felt some type of way too. If somebody is just saying nice things about me and my coworkers are like, oh, we feel like shit because you are being nice to Candy, that would make me feel some type of way too. Like, why can't you just take pleasure in somebody complimenting me? If somebody complimented you, I would have no problem with it. So I totally understand it. I think it was a lot of manipulation. I think, again, Monica was very, very good at knowing how to exploit people. Because you notice she always brought up her kids. Whether or not she has 4 kids, 3 kids, who knows? She's probably lying. Again, we don't even know if Monica is her real name. Right now, she's literally just an avatar with a really nasty attitude named Monica. That's literally all we actually know. But she was throwing that in Plez's face. Like, I have 4 kids. I have a husband. Blah, 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 blah. Knowing Plez had her stillborn story. Plez told us how she had, I think it's called HELLP syndrome, and she lost her baby. She had to give birth to basically like I don't want to say like a dead baby, but like a stillborn, you know? So I think that Monica is so nasty. She was throwing the fact that she had kids. She was a wife. The things that Plez wants to have, the thing that the majority of people want, man or woman, you want kids and you want a spouse and you want a life. She was throwing that in Plez's face, weaponizing that, trying to cut her deep. And I think she did the same thing to Marcella. I think she saw that Marcella was grieving. She saw that Marcella was vulnerable. And so she saw an easy target. Marcella has money. Marcella has access. I'm going to get from Marcella what I can get. That's what I think she did. Hey, Big Red, me too. Hey, Darren, I'm glad to hear Marcella. Same. I am so happy she spoke, because if she hadn't spoken, I would have just assumed and believed everything from what we saw in the demise and Monica's spin. So I'm so happy she spoke. Hey, Latasha. Hey, Beauty. How are you? She says, hey, y'all. Hi, the King's Flyness. Come through. Yes. He says, hey, Candy, I'm new to your channel. I'm so happy I found it. Oh, you too. I love your analysis and breakdowns on these situations. Can't wait for the tea. Beautiful. Oh, thank you. Mwah. I appreciate it. That's right. If you guys are liking the tea, you're liking the commentary, share, subscribe, and like. Hey, Mocha Deluxe. Marcella was definitely being dragged by her toenails up until this. She was. And I'm going to put my hands up. I was dragging her too because I felt the same. I thought she was negative. I thought she was toxic. I felt the energy change when she came in. I thought she was buying her way onto the panel. I thought she was Monica's little puppet. So it was really refreshing to see her speak. And when she spoke, she came from a grown woman's perspective. She was like, I don't care if you call me a drunk. I don't care if you think, if you don't like it that I talk about sex with my husband. I don't care that you think I bought my way onto the panel. What I care about is my integrity. What I care about is that someone that I care about thought that I hurt them. I care about if I hurt Plez. I care about if I hurt So Debonair. I see how they feel that way. I'm taking accountability and I want to move forward. Marcella was a grown-ass woman when she did that interview with Kim Pyre Daily, and I'm really happy she did it because it really shed such a light on it, and it should be a lesson to all of us. Don't let anyone other than you tell your story. Don't let anyone put a narrative on who you are for their own agenda and for their own good. Because she could have let Monica keep spinning this narrative and spinning the story and telling her story. So I am so grateful that Marcella stepped up and was like, I'm going to tell my story and my side. So I'm really happy she did that. Hi, Micheline. She goes, I was on the fence about Marcella, but she was only there for the shits and giggles. Same. Yes, I was too. I was on the fence as well, and I'm really happy she came up. Hi, Arika. Monica is definitely narcissistic. 100%. If you haven't, you should go back and watch my video on a case of narcissism on Monica. Classic narcissist. The moment she refused to apologize and blamed Plez, exactly. I knew she had some sort of borderline personality disorder. 100%. And she was, and Schoolboy was her little flying monkey doing her dirty business. And then that Wiley person, and then Dr. Griffin, that was a whole hot mess. Hot damn mess. Hi, Erica. She was Monica's delusional and how she really thinks everything is just fine. Monica is very delusional, and that just shows you she has no bottom to her petty, and that just shows you that, to me, she's narcissistic, but also a little evil. And I mean that. Not allegedly, because this is my opinion. She's evil. Because I just don't know how you as a person, even if you think that you're right, you can think that you're right all day long. Let's say for me, if I could think I'm right. I could be like, in this situation, I did nothing wrong. What are you talking about? But if I know that something I did either intentionally or unintentionally hurt someone, I'm going to put my hands up and I'm going to say, I am so sorry. Not I'm sorry you feel that way or I'm sorry you thought. No, I am so sorry that what I did hurt you. Period. Not but, not and, not you did, not maybe, none of that. I'm going to take accountability as a grown-ass woman. Whether I meant to hurt you or I didn't mean to hurt you, whether I knew it was going to hurt you, whether I didn't know it was going to hurt you. If anything I do advertently or inadvertently hurt someone, I'm just going to say, I am so sorry that what I did hurt you. Period. Point blank, period. That is what normal, healthy, evolved people do. It's called taking accountability and responsibility. It's not saying you're wrong. It's not being critical of yourself. It's not, losing something. It's just saying, hey, I'm sorry. Let's make it, it boggles my mind how egotistical some people are. It makes no sense. Hey, Della Magine. I hope I pronounced that correctly, 91. It all makes sense why her and Monique Samuels are friends now. Birds of a feather flock together. Exactly. I really do like Monique. I like Monique Samuels. And now it does make sense. And you know what? To your point, it goes back to what I was saying before. Monica wanted access to the Monique Samuels of the world, to Marcella's social circle, because don't let the Henny fool you. Marcella is very, very tied into that world, and Monica wanted access. She wanted gossip. She wanted tea. She wanted money. That's exactly what she got, but now it's a backlash. Hi, Erica. Monica used Marcella the moment she got in touch with her regarding Kyle. Exactly. She liked that Marcella knew Monique and knew she could use her for a come up. Exactly. Monica used Marcella for a come up. Point blank. Hey, it's Latasha. Super chat should definitely be shared. Yes, because most times they're only donating because of the guest. Yes, exactly. And that's what I was saying when Marcella said that the super chats weren't going to the panel. It clicked because I too subconsciously thought the panel must be getting a percentage, some type of kickback of the super chats, but they weren't. They were just getting that measly $200, $300 a month. I mean, that is, to me, is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know how they did that for 5 months. Wouldn't have been and couldn't have been me, but I mean, I don't know. But yeah, but the super chats should have been distributed either at the end of the night or at the end of the week. Just some type of, like, to me, the 200 or 300, which still is extremely low, because if you break it down, say you were only getting $200 a month, if you break it down, that was $50 a week. And in that entire week, you worked at least 14 to 21 hours. Because they would be every night, 2 to 3 hours on lives, 6 to 7 nights a week. You know what I mean? Not to mention the time where they had to like prep if they had the time to. You do the math. What job are you working 14 to 21 hours a week and getting paid $50? Where? Hey, Akira. Marcella knows Monique for sure. Yes, they are friends. Hi, the King's Flyness. Avatar Monica, Monique Samuels being friends tells me all I need to know about them. Monique is a narcissist who flipped out, then played victim. Monica did the same. Okay, I like Monique Samuels. I totally understand that perspective. I totally get what you're saying. I think when it comes to Monique, I don't agree with the way she handled the Candace situation. I understand why, though, because I think that she really did think that Candace was her friend. And then she realized that Candace didn't mastermind this story about her child being the personal trainer's child, or that Monique had allegedly Monique had some abortion and all this stuff. They were trying to put all those like different rumors and everything like that. I don't think Monique did. I'm not putting it up. She didn't. I'm just saying what they allegedly were trying to say, because I don't believe she did. I'm just saying what they allegedly tried to say. I don't think Candace was the mastermind of that, but Candace participated in it. And then she didn't tell Monique herself personally. So I think that is really and I think that's why Karen not necessarily straddled the fence, but I think that's why Karen was so much on Monique's side too, because Karen was the one who went back to Monique and said, listen, these heifers over here are trying to say you had an abortion, or trying to say you had an affair with your personal trainer, or trying to say that your new baby isn't your husband's. Like, I don't care who someone thinks they are to me. If you're putting that on me and my family, and then you want to come in my face and be like, can we be friends again? But you never told me, and you participated in it, and the only reason why you didn't say anything was because my baby looked exactly like the father. That's not a real friend. You don't sit around in a group trying to come up with gossip and storylines that could literally destroy my family, and not just my family unit, but literally destroy my children. Putting a rumor out there that a child is not the biological child from the father, that is something that could carry with that child for that child's entire life. So I don't agree with Monica putting her hands on Candace, but put me in that situation and then having somebody just chirp in your ear, chirp in your ear, chirp in your ear, it gets to a point where you're going to pop off. I don't think Monique is a narcissist. I think Monica 1,000% is a narcissist. And I also think on some level, Monica was using Monique. She was using Monique for credibility, she was using Monique for a come up and as a connection, because I think that Monique Samuels does have a really big, strong fan base, and she is legitimately wealthy, unlike some of the women on the cast. So I think that Monica was using Monique for credibility, because if you think about it, because I was thinking about it, we all participated in a group delusion. And what I mean by, I know it sounds really weird, but what I mean by that is we all just accepted to a greater and lesser degrees that this avatar could come and talk to us and tell us things. And somehow that was valid and okay. They got to 100K on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, we all kind of participated in this group until the Band-Aid was ripped off, right? Until everything was exposed. I would throw my hands up. I was a teacup. I was tuning in. I was kiki. We all participated in this group delusion of this avatar that never showed her face, never told us who she really was, but yet we were tuning in every single day. Yes, for the panelists, of course, but also to her show. And the reason why we did that, if you think about it, was because of how strategic she was. If Monique Samuels was co-signing for her, like her or not, Monique has a big fan base. She's on a reality TV show. She comes with a certain level of credibility. DJ Rich's Sky was co-signing her. Amir was co-signing her. Tasha K was co-signing her. Buffy was co-signing her. So we bought into this group delusion of this avatar being okay to come and tell us all these things and say all these things, because all of these, like, you know what I mean, people were buying into it. So I think more so Monica was using Monique. Hey, Young Rich. Oh, wow. That was him, this messy child. Yes. Very, very messy. Hey, Dave Hart. I have to speak up for Monica. I don't think she's this bad. Okay, Dave, that's okay. You can speak up for whoever you want to speak up to. My channel is all inclusive. All opinions are welcome. So speak up all you want. Marcella, Real Housewives of Potomac. You know what? I wouldn't mind having Marcella be like a shady friend of. Like, she'll pop up at events. She'll pop up at like teas and stuff. I don't know if she would want to be a full-time housewife, but I could see her like popping up for shady moments to like stir the pot. Almost like the Marlo, but like a little, you know what I mean, but Marcella-ish. Hey, Mocha Deluxe. The more the curtain keeps getting pulled back on Mommy Dearest avatar, the more folks see how manipulative and diabolical she really is. Exactly. That's what I was saying before. It was like this shared group delusion about this evil avatar. And then now the fantasy is fading, the delusion is fading, and we are seeing her clearly for the narcissistic, evil, manipulative person that she is, because you can't deny it. It's like Marcella said, there are too many stories. There are too many people coming out. There are too many just coincidences and same stories that are going on from what Monica has said and done. Like, we can't unsee the wizard now. Like, we've seen it. Hey, Miss Bernice, what's up? She goes, Marcella was part of the black socialites. Yes, exactly. Marcella was part of the black socialites with Kyle, who unfortunately passed away. And I think that's why Monica went after Marcella, because she wanted the access that she had through the black socialites, 100%. Hey, Big Red, sneaky snake, LOL. Yes, Monica is the biggest snake of them all. The biggest snake of them all. And I will say, I am really, really happy that Plez and Marcella made up, because I think it truly, to me, everything's the head. Everything is the head. The head rots first. So I really think it all came from Monica, and she poisoned each and every person against each other. Hey, so at the King's Finest, don't forget about Candace. She had issues. Candace had a lot of issues. Oh, yes. Hey, Micheline. Marcella has a very nice here in Florida. She's my cousin's neighbor. A very nice home here in Florida. She's my cousin neighbor. Yeah. No, Marcella is doing the damn thing. She is doing the damn thing. She has a great backstory. She's doing it. And again, I am so, so happy that she came out and she owned her own narrative. and told her own story in her own words from her own perspective. Because if she hadn't done that, I think we would still be coming for her neck. I think I would be thinking that she really was this sort of like negative reinforcement, this negative energy on the panel. But it turns out it really was just Monica the whole time trying to manipulate everybody behind the scenes. Hey, at the King's Finest, I'm not talking about Candace. I'm talking about Monica and Monique. Oh, that's right. So we talked about that. Yeah. So now you see why Monica and Monique were friends. Got it. Yes. Hey, shaking my head. Yes, you're on point. Thank you. Yes, and for everybody who thinks I'm on point, that's my Cash App info if you want. And then you can like the video and subscribe. But any support is definitely just grateful for that. But no pressure. Hey, beautiful Miss Bernice. She didn't like that they bonded. Yes, that's another thing. Narcissists don't like it when the people that they have being their little foot soldiers and their little flying monkeys come together. They like to keep you separated. They like to keep you divided. They like to keep people at odds with each other, because as long as you're fighting each other, you're not really looking at who the real problem is, right? So as long as you're fighting each other, you're not really taking a step back and being like, hey, how come we're only getting paid $50 a week? Hey, how come you're making thousands of dollars a month? Hey, how come all these super chats are coming in and we're not getting a percentage? Hey, why are you bringing on grimy guests? Why are you putting people's business on blast? Hey, how come there's no bottom to your petty? Hey, why are you using clickbait? This is a lie. Hey, why do you have me working 2 or 3 hours about a heading that we don't even talk about? Hey, how come we never see your face? Right? But let Plez and Monica and Marcella fight. Let Schoolboy be at odds with Princess and So Debonair. Let Bishop and So Debonair have a beef. You keep all of your little minions fighting each other, so they don't look up and realize they're getting played. Hey, Erica. She says people who stand for Monica, people who stand for Monica, people need to realize and see a red flag. Why is this group getting along, but Monica is burning bridges with everyone? A person that is toxic. That is very true, because you really have to think about it. If everybody on the panel is able to take accountability for the role that they played, even Plez took accountability. Not that she did anything wrong, but she took accountability. She said, I saw what was going on. God told me to move, and I still stayed. And then it just got worse, right? So she took accountability. She knew she should have moved. She knew she should have left. She saw what was going on, but she still stayed. And she still participated in it. She was like, God told me to move and I stayed. She took accountability for that. So everyone has come out, even Schoolboy, bless her heart. Everyone has come out and has taken accountability for the role that they played in either the demise of the show, the negativity that they put out there, the hurt they caused other people, Apple Watts and other people, they took accountability. They said sorry. And now they're trying to move forward in a different, more positive way, except for Monica. That right there shows you she is a toxic person. She was the one pulling the strings, and that she hasn't changed. And now she wants to go out here and still play all of us for fools and keep her little show panel going. But she will not get another view, subscribe, like, anything from me. Nothing. Not a thumbs up, nothing. Hey, at the King's Finest. Candace is a mess too, but Monique put her hands on someone in a psycho fit and she acted shocked when she wasn't coddled. Monica did the same thing. Yes, I see what you're saying, the King's Finest, and I agree with you. You never put your hands on someone. You just don't do it. Of course you can defend yourself. That's one thing. But we're not going to go out here. We're not going to fight. We can fight with our words. You don't put your hands on someone. Yes, I totally get that. But I don't want to conflate the issues. You can't compare Monique having a beef with her ex-friend Candace and Candace being yappy in her mouth. Candace, yes, you don't put your hands on someone, but you also have to be mindful of what you say, because your words will write a check your butt cannot cash. So you have to, yes, keep your hands to yourself, but be mindful of your words too, because your words will get you in trouble. So Candace was going off, right? That's one situation, which is different from Monica literally, emotionally, and manipulating everything from behind the scenes, telling one panel member this, paying one panel member that, pitting people against each other, using clickbait, putting false statements out there, not taking accountability, not calling people back and then saying it's their fault, gaslighting people, using Schoolboy and Wiley as like your mouthpieces to get at other people, dividing and conquering. Those are two completely different things. So you can't conflate the two issues. What happened between Monica and Candace? Those are two women who used to be friends, who had a beef. One popped off in the mouth and one popped her in the head. Monica was a whole crazy, orchestrated mess. That was not the first time that she's done that. She also backstabbed Sherelle's world in the back. Became friends with Sherelle's world, got the tea about her being married to Perry, and then used that with John Yates and another Amber or somebody like that. Got together. I don't know who spilled it officially, but she was a part of that whole mess, backstabbing her in her back. So you can't compare the two. They're apples to oranges. Now, when you talk about reactions, if I'm Monique, I'm gonna want to be coddled a little bit. I mean, I think there was something going on with Monique where I think she was really ashamed and embarrassed that she let this little girl take her there. And you also have to remember that they really stopped filming Monique's journey. So we don't actually know the work that Monique did behind the scenes. Because remember at the reunion, she was just like, I went through all this. I went through the process. I went through therapy. I took accountability, all of this stuff, but you guys didn't film it. You didn't show it. So we don't actually know if Monique, like the level of accountability that Monique took. She did end up apologizing. And she even said that she was, and we did see this part of the show. Remember, it was her and Chris, and then their pastor and the wife. And she was saying how she had been triggered. And she goes, I need to apologize to her because a lot of what popped off had to do with my childhood stuff. And Candace was triggering that given the beef. And I need to apologize. The reason why Monique didn't apologize after that was because Candace filed a lawsuit against her, and legally she couldn't talk to her. Because the first thing your lawyer is going to tell you when somebody slaps you with a lawsuit is close your mouth, don't say anything, we're going to handle it. So Monique would have went to Candace and apologized to her directly, but Candace saw a money grab and was like, oh, you put your hands on me, I'm going to sue you for some money, and put a lawsuit against her, so she couldn't apologize in that moment. So it's apples to oranges. What Monica did was very strategic, emotional savagery, seeing people at vulnerable moments and really exploiting that. Where I feel like Monique, yes, you don't hate anybody, but that to me was just more like, friend groups, he said, she said, gossip, you popped your mouth off and you got popped in the face. Hi, Erica. Dave Hart, are you Monica's husband? LOL. Aw, I love the fun shade. I love you guys. At the King's Finest, Dave, go back up Monica's bed. Oh, you guys, no. We're going to keep it classy and fun. Okay, Micheline, Lord, that doctor had no business to try to conduct that interview. Yeah, Dr. Griffin, and I use the term doctor very loosely, usury and all this stuff. She literally was reading off of a script. And another thing Marcella said, I had forgot about this. They were dragging Dr. Griffin a few weeks or months back, whenever it was, when the whole Dr. Holy Horror stuff came out. They were dragging that woman for filth. And now she's the one that you're going to get to be, your interviewer. She's the one that you're going to get to co-sign you. Girl, bye. Miss me with all of that. But it just shows you, my, how the mighty have fallen. That's all she had to get on her side. The King's Finest, she's evil, narcissistic. And if you defend that, then you're hella sus too. Dun, 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 dun. Amen. Do you think Monica will ever apologize? No, I don't. Because I don't think that narcissistic people are capable of apologizing. Something that I personally had to realize and go through on myself with people who are narcissistic that I know and love. They're incapable of apologizing. As much as you crave it, as much as you want it, they can't, because they're wired differently. They're just wired differently. And that's how they know how to exploit people too. They like smell it on you. Hey, Wanda Williams, why YouTube didn't block her? YouTube didn't block her because I think YouTube is still making money off of it, right? Just like we talked about earlier, it's a story that keeps on giving. We're all still talking about it. The YouTube streets are still hot. And even though what she did, I think, was ethically wrong, I don't know if what she did went against any like YouTube violations. Like, she didn't do any like copyright infringement. She didn't say or do anything that was like physically threatening or anything like that. I mean, she did dox Plez. So I don't know. But maybe that would be something that like Plez would have to go against her because it was like her business. I don't know. But I don't know if she did anything against like YouTube standards. And plus YouTube is still making money. Hey, beautiful April B. Hey, girl. Hey. Hey, beautiful. At the King's Flyness, I'm still trying to figure out why Monica had Dr. Doodle on there pushing the bush. Not Dr. Doolittle, you stupid. Because that's all she had. Nobody with credibility was going to co-sign her up to that point. Nobody with something to lose was going to show their face while she still hid behind her avatar. At Maya, I don't think she ever will. Yeah, I don't think she ever will either. I think she's incapable of it. Hey, beautiful Miss Bernice. At King's Finest, let's start with that foolishness Candace and Monique stuff. Candace was just as guilty as Monique in the situation. Yes, I agree with I agree with you, Miss Bernice. Candace was just as guilty because there was so much underlying drama and resentment and unresolved issues. You know, Candace can't be a foul friend and then expect people to just forgive her and to have blind loyalty to her and say all these little things and not catch a hand or not have something happen. I mean, they were really plotting. Because if you remember, Candace was the original Shakana. Because remember when Candace went on her live and she spilled the whole tea about how her, Giselle and Robin, and I forget who else was there. It was after Andy Cohen's baby shower. They were all getting together, plotting storylines for the upcoming season, and they were plotting to have a storyline about the paternity of Monique's son. And then Candace went with her simple mind and told Karen, not understanding the ramifications of what she was saying. Karen, being the grown-ass woman that she is, went directly to Monique and said, girl, listen, this is what is up. This is what they're plotting. Get your house in order because this is about your child. And that is the true core of the Monique and Candace beef. And Candace, with her simple mind, did not understand. I honestly don't think Candace has the emotional intelligence to understand that Monique felt betrayed by that. So I think in Candace's simple mind, she didn't understand why Monique wasn't messing with her anymore. So like the child that she is, she wanted attention. She wanted Monique's attention. So she kept picking, because like a kid, any attention is better than no attention. So they'd rather act out and get your attention than having to be a good girl and get your attention. So she was acting out. She was picking and picking and picking and picking. And then Monique's a human being. You look at me and you claim to be my friend. You want to grow our friendship, but yet you're plotting this behind my back. I can't. At Paige Coleman's Candy, I love you. I love you too, Paige. I love you. Big Red, Monica set it up like that. Yes, Monica did set it up like that because she's a narcissist. She wanted to make sure that she was the one pulling all of the strings, that everybody came to Mommy Monica. That was all nothing but manipulation. Hey, Young Rich. DeMonica been flagging videos. She flagged Kimpire, Sodebs, and plenty of others. See, that just shows you how nasty she is and how she doesn't want anybody else to win. Why is she flagging Kimpire and Sodebs and everybody else's videos? She is a hot mess. But you know what? Karma comes back. Whether we see it publicly or not, karma always comes back. So this evil and this negativity and this sabotage that she's putting out there, and you know what? We'll come back to her, yes. But my other thought is, what a freaking hypocrite. What a hypocrite, because she made all her money, she got all of her subscribers, putting other people's poor behavior on blast. She got up there every single night, airing people's tea, airing people's dirty laundries, airing people's mistakes, affairs, mistresses, baby outside, just poor, you know what I mean? The tea. She got rich and where she was by exploiting other people's mistakes. So now she wants to flag Kimpire and SoDeb and other people for literally doing the same exact thing, for doing their jobs, their daily gossip sites, their columns. So Debonair was basically like a tangent panelist. He wasn't official, but he was there every night until she took him off. So what a hypocrite. It's the hypocrisy for me. You wanted to make your money. You wanted to get your fame. You wanted to get your subscribers on the backs of other people's tragedy and other people's tea and like exactly like she said in her stupid little interview. You want to make coin. You want to make money off my pain. You want it off my pain, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry. Isn't that your entire business model? I'll wait. That's your entire business model. You exploit other people's pain. The difference is this. I love pop culture. I love tea. I love fun shade. I love celebrity gossip. I love it all. But I only want to consume it through a lens of comic relief, fun shade, fun tea, right? With the objective to entertain. Because at some level, if people are celebrities, if you are reality TV stars, if you put yourself in the spotlight where you gain monetarily based on public's opinion, public dollars, whether people watch your show, whether people buy your stuff, whether people watch your movie, whether people buy your music or whatever it is, then you do, to a certain level, open yourself up to public scrutiny because you are a public figure. So I'm all for that. But it has to be through the lens of entertainment and fun shade. And let's kiki about it. Monica was doing it through the lens of demise and tear down and negativity and getting pleasure out of watching other people fall. And to me, that is the distinction. Kimpire could do a story on something and it's funny, it's uplifting, we kiki and we have fun. Up and Adam does it. House of Aaron does it. Tisa Tells does it. There's so many bloggers and YouTubers out there who are sharing the same exact stories, but they do it in a way that doesn't tear down the integrity of the person, because we're all human. We all fall short. We all make mistakes. Could you imagine what your life would look like under a microscope? I can't. So I think that's like the difference. At King's Finest. Okay, Miss Bernice. I love you, Miss Bernice. Yes. Hey, Maya. I don't think she'll at this point. She's back to doing shows. Monica is only about self. She's about ego and money. That's it. Hi, Akira. Monica's delusional. Very, very delusional. Hey, King's Finest. Monique is wrong and a grown woman who refused to take accountability, just like Monica. I know y'all love Monique, but she acted just like Monica. I see what you're saying, and thank you, King's Finest, for your opinion. Keep it coming. Whether you agree with me or not, your opinion is welcomed here. So bring it. Let's kiki and talk. Like this video, subscribe and share, and all the info is there at the banner. Support, support, support. Hey, shaking my head, only paying the panel $200 a month was slavery. Thank you, because they were 5 days a week for several hours and after dark too much. Yeah, sometimes they were 6 days. Didn't they used to do Saturday or Sunday? No, they used to do Sunday. They used to do Sunday because they're married to medicine and stuff like that. Sometimes it was 6 days a week. Modern day slavery. Modern day. Hi, Erica. Biggest narc vibes. In her interview when she said she still loved them. The gaslighting. The lies. The gaslighting. Sick. Absolutely sick. At Dave Hart paid. Hey, beautiful Bernice. Monique took accountability for altercation with Candace. She did. She's not going to agree to disagree with this mess, and I don't blame her. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Yes, Monique took accountability, and I don't think Monique is a narcissist. I would have liked her to take more of a stronger stance. I get she's trying to be diplomatic, but it would have been nice for her, and she like wished everyone well. But I would have liked her to maybe take a bit of a stronger stance, but I still see where she's coming from. Hey, Erica at Clean's Finest. I agree with you. It's not normal for grown people to physically fight as much as we try to excuse it. No, I agree too. I agree too. And I'm not, and to be clear, I'm not excusing physical altercations or fighting. I'm not excusing it. I'm not saying that what she did was okay. I am just coming from a place of the human experience and of compassion and understanding that as human beings, we all have our limits, and we're not animals, of course, but we still have animalistic tendencies. Like, so when you feel threatened to a certain degree, sometimes you act out. We have wars still. You know what I mean? So it's a part of the human experience. I'm not condoning it. I don't think you should fight, but we're all human beings, and we all have a point where you catch someone at the right exact time, at the right exact moment, saying the wrong thing. You just got to be careful. Yes, don't put your hands on anybody, but you also have to be mindful of how you are carrying yourself and what you are saying, because words are powerful too. That's what I'm saying. Hey, Micheline Pierre. Avatar knew which panelist was communicating, so she pinned them against each other. Exactly. She was trying to divide and conquer. She would pin them against each other, so she stayed the head. She stayed the primary relationship. She knew who to talk to every single day and who to text and all that stuff. Hey, shaking my head. That's one of the things that pissed me off the most. Yeah, all of it. All of it. Hey, beautiful Miss Bernice. Greetings, everyone. Yay! Hey, at the King's Finest. At Erica, I'm right there with you. I can't believe this older woman is in here making excuses for Monique. I'm like, give me a break. Hi, Maya. Candy, keeping it real with her change of opinion on Marcella. Yes, I am keeping it real. I am keeping it 100. I can take accountability and hold my hands up and say, hey, I used to think this about someone because of X, Y, and Z. Now that person has come out, has given their perspective, I can now understand where that person was coming from, and my opinion can change based on A, B, and C. You know, I don't have to say I said this once and that's it. No, we're allowed to evolve and grow, and I'm keeping it 100. Like, I take back some of the stuff I said about Marcella. I said it based on what she was saying and the context in which it was given. But now that she's come out, I see her differently, and I have more empathy for her. Definitely. Hey, Micheline. Hey, at Miss Bernice. Yay! At Dave Hart. At Shaking My Head. People who were slaves didn't get paid at all or have freedom to walk away. What are you talking about? Okay, Dave, I think what Shaking My Head was talking about, I don't think slavery was supposed to be taken literally. I think it was used for emphasis and as like an analogy. It's like slavery. It's like working for free. So it wasn't meant to be taken literally. The panel weren't literal slaves. It's an analogy. Working for that little is like working for nothing. It's just an analogy. It's just a way to give emphasis to the point that he was making. Hey, I'm Melinda Brown. I'm a new subby. I really enjoy your commentary. Thank you. Yay. Welcome, everybody. Hey, at Estacia Walker. Hey, Auntie Bernice. Yes. Hey, at Tara Seals. Preach, girl. All day. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hey, at the King's Finest. What I didn't like about that live, aside from that prayer, was the fact that she kept wishing Plez well, even though she was literally in the middle of trying to take Plez down. I was floored. Exactly. See, that was the gaslighting. That was the manipulation. That was the backhandedness of it all. I agree 100%. That the whole live was nothing but this big, I don't even know what to call it. First of all, it was really hard to watch. I only watched it for you guys because I love you. But it was really, really hard to watch. It was a whole hot mess. And you could just really see how pathetic Monica is. Like, her whole house burned down, and we really just saw exactly who she is. Disgusting. Hey, yeah, shaking my head. Don't work with an avatar if the person can at least show their face behind the scenes. Yes, that's another thing that really concerned me, was that all the people who co-signed for her, all of the panelists, and then all of the other bloggers had never seen her face. And that's what I was talking about earlier in the live. We all shared in this like shared delusion that like literally no one was like, wait a minute, something's wrong. You know what I mean? No one has seen her face. It was like we all were in this shared delusion. Me too. I was a teacup. I was like this shared delusion. Like you're literally on a panel showing your face, working for someone, but you've never, like, do they know Monica's last name? Like, I bet it was all like Cash Apps and all, speaking of Cash Apps, mine's down there if you want to. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that she had any true paper trail as to who she was, you know? Like, I'm up here, I'm talking to you guys, like, my name's Candy Washington, that's my real name, that's who I am, this is my face, hi. Like, I make no bones about it, you know? I'm just getting up here, sharing my opinion, being my authentic self. I don't see why Monica thought that, like, she was somehow special from that. And there are a lot of, and I'm not a gossip columnist or anything. I'm just sharing my opinion on things. I'm not like a blogger in that sense, in that world by any means. But like Wendy Williams shows her face. GJ Richie Sky shows his face. Jason Lee, he's an extremely problematic figure. He shows his face over there on Hollywood Unlocked. Why did we not realize Monica was nothing but a scam? It was a shared delusion. Hey, Estacia Walker, she's a master manipulator. Yeah, she really was. She manipulated all of them. She was so good at seeing what their weaknesses were and then exploiting it for what she could get. She really used all of them in her own way for her come up, for money and subscribers. Hey, beautiful Bernice. I am so sorry that people have never got into situations where they have lost control or been pushed to the point where you broke out of your character. This old woman gonna be quiet. Oh, wait, they were talking about you calling you? Okay, hold up. I don't have any moderators yet. I will, though. But just so everyone knows, we respect Miss Bernice Jackson, and we respect everyone in the chat. We all can agree to disagree, but do not call her an old woman and do not disrespect her. That will not be tolerated. We can all agree to disagree, but my channel, we are going to be happy. We are going to laugh. We're going to kiki. We are going to escape the drama of our days. Anything that is weighing heavy on us, we're laying it down, and we're going to use these couple of hours to come together and laugh. So whoever called Miss Bernice an old woman, if you are still in here, I want you to apologize to her, because we're not having that. On behalf of that person, Miss Bernice, I apologize. You are beautiful, and you are always welcomed here with your opinion at all times. So just want everyone to know that we do love and light and respect over here. Miss Bernice, I love you. Keep coming in. You are more than welcome. You do not have to be quiet. I want your opinion, and your voice will be heard on my channel. Just putting that out there. Hey, at Young Rich. So was this rumor about Wiley tearing up libraries and stranded naked true? Oh, I don't know. Y'all are gonna have to Google the Wiley stuff, because I can't look at him. Like, no, like I'm not talking about anybody's like physical appearances. Just his energy is off for me. Like I don't want to like listen to him. Do you know what I mean? And like I am very, very mindful about the energy I put out. I take accountability for the energy I bring to a room, and I take accountability to the energy that I receive from people. And whether he was trolling Monica or not, what I saw from him on that interview live that he did, that was enough for me to know, like, I don't mess with this person. So I don't know what's going on with Wiley in Wiley's world. Hey, yeah, shaking my head. Yes, that's what I've been saying. That woman is evil to the core. She is. Monica is evil. It's like we all were in on this collective catfish from evil, evil Monica. Hi, Maya. Monica will keep hiding and lying about the situation. Yeah, because that's what narcissistic people do. They hide, they lie, they divide. That's it. That's all they do, because they derive their pleasure and sense of importance from having control over people. And they can never be wrong. They always have to be right. It's all ego-based. Hi, Erica. Her ego, exactly. Yes. Her ego is so big, she got moderators deleting all comments that threaten her delusion. Exactly. Even people who were doing super chats and paying for their commentary to come up, which, by the way, I think I should be monetized very, very soon. So thank you for everyone who is watching. I appreciate you so much. And I will never delete your comments ever. Okay. So yeah. So she was doing that. She was deleting comments because it's like the emperor has no clothes, right? It's like anything that threatens the delusion of grandeur that they have in their head, they have to delete and mute and stomp out. You know what you see what I'm saying? So it's like anything that's real threatens her delusion. She has to delete it. Hey, Bernice. We love you. People, when you apologize, it starts with if. You are not apologizing. Exactly. That's what we were talking about before. If you're like, if I offended you, if you took it that way, you know, if blah, 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 then yeah, it's not a real apology, because what you're doing when you do that is you're invalidating that person's experience. Because to that person, there's no if. That person was just hurt, period. So it's not, well, if what I said hurt you. It's a very snide, condescending way to whittle yourself out of something. When a truly self-assured, confident, emotionally evolved person, they don't need to hide behind if to make themselves feel better. They can just say, I'm sorry that what I did hurt you. I'm sorry that what I said hurt you. That is, you can feel the difference. That is true strength to stand in your ownness and take accountability for how what you said made someone else feel, whether that was your intention or not. If the end result was someone was hurt, what do you give up by just being kind to someone? And I think that's really what's missing with Monica. Just like the kindness, human factor just isn't there. Okay, at Kling's Finest. Okay, at Miss Bernice. I lost control before when I was younger, and you know what I did? I took responsibility and held myself accountable. I didn't go around blaming everyone else for my actions. Okay, well, good for you, the King's Finest. We're all learning from each other. Hey, at the Imagine91. My chat got featured, LOL. Yeah, of course. We are kikiing, you guys. So put all your comments in the chat box. We're just going to have a good old time. Hey, I'm shaking my head. I don't like Monique. I know a lot of people don't. She was wrong for fighting Candace, and she doubled down on it to justify that fight. Okay. Yes. I think it's wrong to put your hands on someone. However, if we are being honest, we are not emotionless robots. We are human beings that have the capability of love and war. So if we are being honest, everyone has the capability, if not they have had, to have something happen and they do something out of character and they pop off. I think Monique did take accountability. I think she did. I think it got jumbled because of the lawsuit. I think it got jumbled because of Bravo's editing and not showcasing it. But I do think she took accountability. And there's a difference between saying, I'm sorry for what I did, but at the same time still saying, like, I still understand why I did it. And I really think that's what's getting lost with this. I think with Monique, yeah, she's like, I'm sorry I did this. I got a character. This happened. But then she wasn't saying, like, I'm this horrible monster and I'm just going to be down on myself this whole time. No, she said, yeah, I did a messed up thing. I've worked through it. I'm still going to love myself. I'm still going to show up. I'm going to forgive myself. And I'm still standing by why I did it. So I don't think that she was justifying her actions as a way to not be accountable. I think she was explaining her perspective and giving context to why she popped off in that way. And you're allowed to do something technically wrong, but then explain why you did it. Because to be perfectly honest, I understand why she did it. I personally would have walked away, but I still understand why she did it. Do you see what I'm saying? She's not justifying it to say that what she did wasn't right. She's saying, yes, I got out of character, but let me give you context as to why I got out of character. And to me, that shows a lot of awareness. Hey, Miss Bectons, at the King's Finest, I said I'm quiet now. No! At Miss Bernice, you are not quiet now. You speak your mind, you speak your opinion, and you are welcomed here all the time. You speak up however you want to, whenever you want to. I love you, Miss Bernice, and you are welcomed here, and you speak your mind. You do not have to be quiet. Hey, it's Tiva Beauty. They all used each other. Well, this is the thing. I think when it comes to the panel, it depends on how you are defining the word use. Because if I'm a panelist and I'm working 5 to 6 days, 2 to 3 hours a week for $50 to $60 that week to make another person thousands of dollars and to grow that person's YouTube channel to over 100K when my YouTube channel is only at like, this isn't my personal one. I'm just doing hypothetical, but my YouTube channel is like 3 to 4K. And then on top of that, I'm also dealing with interpersonal coworker drama. You know, there are coworkers not talking to me. I feel that coworkers are, you know, kind of icing me out. I feel that like Monica is putting me on the spot. I feel that comments are being deleted. Like, you have to contextualize what you mean by use. Because to me, the panel got hosed and very much used. Do you see what I'm saying? So I think you have to really define how you're doing use, because at the end of the day, Monica is the one who mishandled this situation. Monica is the one who fumbled her own bag. The only reason why she's having this backlash is because of her own actions. Even if she didn't want to call Plez back, which was dead wrong, once Plez left and it was clear she wasn't coming back, she didn't have to go on her platform and say something about she's leaving for mental health issues, to look after her mental health. Monica threw the grenade in her own home and blew it the F down. Sorry. She is the one who put the grenade in her house and lit that match. Not Plez. Plez's video, which she is allowed to do, Plez is allowed to have a farewell, new beginning videos on her own page if she wants to. That was Plez's private platform. She is allowed to say why she left and what she has planned next for her channel. She doesn't need Monica's permission to speak her truth on her own platform. That's like somebody coming into your house and being like, why didn't you ask me what you could cook for dinner tonight? Why didn't you ask me what you could watch on TV tonight? Why didn't you ask me what you could talk to your husband about? Why didn't you ask me what you could talk to your wife about in your own home? Who is Monica to tell Plez what she can and cannot talk about on her own platform? Plez went on her own Scared of Beautiful platform and told her own story. And she did it in a very respectful way. It was Monica's ego that got in the way. Monica literally is the one who is the cause of her own demise, not the other panelist. Hey, at the King's Finest. She featured my chat. I did. But I have to tell you, you better be nice to Miss Bernice. I'm not playing around. We all love each other here. So say you're sorry to Miss Bernice. Oh, wait, let's see. Hey, Latana. Hey, Latana. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. You're so pretty. Okay. My super chats were huge. Yes, they were. Monica was making bank. That's what I'm saying. Monica was literally making thousands of dollars on her channel and was giving them $50 a week. Who's getting used? Up next. Hi, Erica. Monica blocked all my super chats because I said in the comment section how weird she was when she explained she wore armor in public because people are demons. What normal person thinks like this? You know, you see, Monica was telling on herself. Monica was really telling on herself. She was wearing all that stuff literally just to, I don't know, combat her own evil spirits. She was telling herself. Hayat Sativa Beauty. Okay, whose fault? Monica or the panel? They accepted the pay. Okay, well, this is the thing. Yes, they accepted the pay. Of course they did. Like, I mean, they did. I get that. I'm not saying that they didn't play a role in it or that they didn't have accountability in it. But when Monica now goes out and tries to use "I paid you" as some type of excuse or some type of like moral superiority over them, like you owe me and you used me and all this stuff. And then it turns out she's paying you $50 a week for doing 14 to 21 hours of work. It's laughable. It's laughable. I actually would have respected if she wasn't paying them anything because what she was paying them was so measly and such a slap in the face. So I don't think it's so much that the panel accepted that pay. I think it's the fact that Monica tried to weaponize paying them to justify her shitty behavior and her erratic behavior. So I think that's really the kernel, because also Plez never mentioned payment. If you go back and watch Plez's farewells and new beginnings video, she never mentioned payment at all. She never did. Monica brought that up. Monica brought up "I paid you" and payment, and she's saying she has never paid, which was a flat out lie. Plez never brought up payment. So we are only, again, Monica is the one who burned down her own house, because the only reason why we're even talking about payment, the only reason why we know how much they're being paid is because Monica tried to weaponize the fact that she played them against her, as if that was some big thing. They weren't being paid a percentage of the super chats. They weren't being paid enough for like your Starbucks for the week. So we would not have even known how much they were being paid if Monica hadn't tried to weaponize it. And I think that's what the biggest thing is. Hey, at King's Flyness, Monica was in there taking folks' money for their super chat and deleting them and keeping their money. Yes, we touched on that. Monica definitely was, because again, she's a narcissist and she has to be in control of the narrative. And that is not okay. She needs to let go of control. Latana goes, yes, at the King's Finest. Hey, Erica, at Sativa, both Monica is trash for offering so little for so many hours. Yes. And you know what she also did? I think she also manipulated them, because remember, she was like, panelists don't usually get paid. Panelists don't usually get paid. Right, but panelists don't usually work as much as that panel was working. What other panel on YouTube is going for 2 to 3 hours, 5 to 6 days a week? I don't know any. We have people who, like, you know, they'll do their live and they'll have guest panels come in and they'll chat and do all that stuff. But what really other panel on YouTube was that like regimented and dedicated, where it was like literally every night for 2 or 3 hours for 5 or 6 days a week? Like that was a different level of responsibility than you see on the other channels, where people will call in, they'll have a little panel discussion, maybe, you know, once or twice a week or whatever it is. So it's really apples to oranges. You can't compare the level of work that other panelists on other shows were giving, when literally this panel was doing like a second. It was basically like a night job. It was like a whole nother night job. And then they were doing Friday night after hours. That is how Monica built her subscriber list so fast and made all that money so fast, was because they were on every single night for how long? Hey, at Young Rich, at Dave Hart, Monique is not ghetto. She has had enough of the reckless behavior. Yes, and you know what? I really don't like using the word ghetto to describe Black women, just because we have a reaction to something. Like, we're not robots. I'm not into this whole respectability politics. You know, talk about the, like, we could talk about like Monique and her commentary on bonnets and pajamas at the airport when you're trying to be the most comfortable. Yeah. First of all, I don't think that ghetto should be used in a derogatory way to describe a person. A ghetto is a location. It's a type of neighborhood. It is not a person. You can use it to characterize certain things, but that's just messed up. I don't like that either. Hey, Epic Red. But why she took down her sub, I don't know. She took down her subscriber count because she didn't want everybody to see how many subscribers she was losing. She wanted to continue to lie and to fake the funk that she was still relevant on these YouTube streets, and she's not. She's a joke. So that's why she took down her subscriber count, because she didn't want people to see just how many followers she was losing. Because again, she wanted to keep up this facade. Hey, beautiful Bernice. They're being paid $4 to $5 an hour. She took out taxes. You know, Monica didn't take out taxes because she doesn't want any paper trail over who she really is. Yeah, think about it. Thank you for doing the math, Miss Bernice. Would you work anywhere for that long for $4 to $5 an hour when during those same hours, the person that you're working for is making hundreds of dollars? Sick. Shaking my head. Just stop defending Monique. She had a reason to fight that woman. She had reason to fight that woman the way she did. Do you mean she didn't have a reason, or she did have a reason? I'm not sure. Let me know. Hey, at Robin Spence, all about the tea leader, cater to the specific need from each panelist rather than want to admit it or not. That's why it was never real peace, just individuals vying for her attention. Exactly, and that is exactly how narcissistic people move. They keep themselves as the head. They divide and conquer everybody around them, and all of them are always vying for her attention, vying for her approval, vying for her compliments, and all that stuff. And she was very, very manipulative. Remember when she used to praise Plez about her lip color, and then all of a sudden she stopped doing that? Come on. She was very, very, very manipulative. At Robin Spence, it's classic cult leader trait. Yeah, it is. Divide and conquer, and then get people to come and follow you. Like, if you think about it, All About the Tea was becoming very, very cultish. It really was. Like, you had like the teacups, and like you came and like you would stand for the channel and all this stuff. I remember she used to not make us chant, but she would always be like, cancel that bitch, cancel that person. Like, really like evil and really divisive and really mean-spirited. Insane. Hey, Young Rich. Candace and Monique were like sisters. Of course, that would scar her the most out of the other ladies, especially regarding her child. Exactly. Thank you, Young Rich. That is exactly what I am saying. If you're really close to someone and you find out that they have been privy to a plot that could potentially not just hurt you and your husband, but hurt your child, and then that person doesn't warn you or come to you, of course you're going to have a vendetta against that person. It's just human nature. If someone comes for your family, especially someone pretending to be your friend, of course you're going to have a vendetta against them. And Candace just kept picking and picking and picking. This is what it is. Hi, at the King's Flyness, at Young Rich. That was a ghetto mess. What Monique did, do better. Okay, we can all have our own opinions, but we're going to keep it cute and classy. We're going to keep it cute. At Shaking My Head, Candace didn't put that rumor out there. It was Monique's friend who appeared on the show. Okay, so I know what you're talking about. Monique's friend, what was her name? Yeah, she was that memorable. I forgot her name. Anyway, it was Monique's friend who appeared on the show. Monique's friend was the one who went around and she was like texting producers and then texting with the other girls on the show. I'm not saying, and I never said that Candace put the rumor out there. I said that Candace was privy to a discussion where they were talking about the rumor and they were talking about putting the rumor out there. And then Candace went to Karen and relayed what they were talking about. And Karen is the one who went to Monique. I'm not saying Candace put the rumor out there. I'm just saying if you pretend to be my homegirl and we are friends and I'm not in a room and they're discussing my marriage and the paternity of my child and you don't come back and tell me, that is a betrayal. And you let me know right there, we're not really as good of friends as we think. So I'm not saying Candace made the rumor or she put it up there. I'm saying this is why Monique felt betrayed, if that makes sense. Hey, at Young Rich, at King's Finest. Wait a minute, you kind of fine. Let's discuss this elsewhere. See, that is the fun comments that I like. Yes. And if you like the video, like it. Okay. Hey, beautiful Bernice. Monica did whatever pimps does to his stable of women. Yes. He is going to tell them whatever they need to hear to go along, and they never cross conversations with others. Exactly. She was pimping her panel. That's a perfect way to put it. She was pimping it. It's like, yeah, I'm going to give you something, but not nearly what you're worth. And then I'm going to keep you all divided and all fighting each other so you don't actually look at me. And that's exactly what happened with Marcella. I mean, she even had the audience. She even had us against Marcella. That's how deep this went. We were all kind of side-eyeing Marcella. Like, really? Like, you were back there doing this and the negativity and all that stuff? And it took Marcella literally coming to us on Kimpire's channel and giving her side of the story where we could see, oh, that's your perspective. That was your experience. That was your intention. That was what Monica was doing behind the scenes. So Monica didn't just play the panel against each other. She played all of us against each other, if you want to really think about it. Because we were all side-eyeing Schoolboy too for being her little flying monkey and her little mouthpiece going off at Ples. But then Schoolboy came out and apologized. So Monica was using everybody and she was dividing even us against people. That's why when I started this live today, I said, hey, I'm really happy she spoke because now I have a completely different opinion about her, which is exactly how Ples felt. Marcella said once she had a chance to talk to Ples, everything was squashed and they're cool. Monica really did a number on all of us. Like, we collectively need Ivana to fix our lives after this. Let's see what's next. Hey, Micheline, did you see Monica live about Avatar in the did you see Monique live about Avatar in the panel? No, I didn't see Monique's live. If it's still up, I'll go back and watch it. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah. Let's see what's next. Hey, Anastasia at Bernice Jackson, I agree with you. I agree with Miss Bernice too. She's so fly. Totally agree. Oh, sorry if you hear construction. They're working on my pool. So if you hear any like construction, that's what that is. So give me some grace. I love you guys. Hey, at King's Finest. Haha. Oh, thank you so much at Young Rich. Yes, this is what I like. This is what I like. Because King's Finest, you are fly. You're very handsome. So yes, let's all keep it love. Hey, Keisha. Monica was never completely credible, in my opinion. I just enjoyed hearing the panelists' perspectives on topics. Yes, I agree so much. Monica really never was credible. That is why she had to borrow the credibility of all these other people. She had to borrow Monique's credibility. She had to borrow DJ Richie Sky's. Like, we've been over this. She had to borrow the credibility of everybody else. And we tuned in every night, not so much for Monica to yell at us and tell us that we're stupid, but it was really for the panel. So to Monica's credit, she put together a great panel, but just because you put together a great panel, that doesn't mean that those people are beholden to you for the rest of their lives. That doesn't mean you get to put that over their heads forever. You know, and honestly, that panel doesn't owe Monica anything. They were working for her. So they don't owe her anything. They owed her showing up those nights and being a part of a panel, and that is exactly what they did. After that, it's over. You know what I mean? Like, you don't go to work, and then after you work and your boss pay you, your boss doesn't come back to you and be like, you owe me this, and this. No, that's ridiculous. You go, you do your job, you collect your paycheck, and it's over. The panel doesn't owe Monica anything. Anything. Bernice Jackson, we fell off hook, line, and sinker. We fell hook, line, and sinker. We did. It was a collective catfish delusion. And I was a teacup. I can't lie. I'm not going to pretend I wasn't. I was definitely a teacup. Let's see here. Hey, pretty Keisha. At least Tasha K will stand in her mess when she's wrong. She doesn't delete comments or block people with different opinions. Exactly. At least other people, because I don't think Tasha K is a narcissist, right? So people, when they make a mistake, which we all do, we're all humans, none of us are perfect. But when we make a mistake, we should be able to take accountability, stand in our own mess, say that you're wrong, and then let people show us forgiveness and grace. We all make mistakes, and we all are worthy of forgiveness and grace. But when you make a mess and you double down and you refuse to take accountability and you refuse to apologize, it just gets messier and messier and messier and messier. And that's why we've been talking about this for a week or so, because her doubling down just made it even messier and made it even a bigger deal than it needed to be. It made it grosser and messier than it needed to be. Hey, I am unique. Listen, you give people a chance until they show you who they are. We try to be fair and give people a chance. Monica had plenty of chances to get it right. Exactly. She had so many chances. And instead of evolving or becoming a better person, she just doubled down on her evilness. And I'm sorry, but that mess of a Monica Explains It All interview was disgusting, and it was toxic, and it was gross. It was awful. And I mean, if anybody had any doubt about her, that interview should have cleared your mind, because what she did was it was like watching a train wreck. She was interviewing herself through Dr. Griffin. She had weird Wiley come on there. It was a mess. And then her commentary was just so dark and nasty. Absolutely ridiculous. Hey, Maya. Monica should have called Plez back and or watched her announcement video instead of assuming the worst. All of this is Monica's doing. Exactly. All Monica had to do was call Plez and talk to her. All Monica had to do, and you know what? A part of me thinks that Monica saw Plez's video and was just lying. She was just pissed to her core that Plez went out on her own. That's what I really think. I think Monica did watch her video. She was just pissed that Plez was on her own without asking Mommy Monica for permission. And this was her get back, because that's how narcissists operate. And also, Monica is a known liar, right? Monica is a known liar. So I don't trust a word she says. Not a word. Hey, at Andrew Mack. Hey, Candy. Marcella says she's friends with most of the housewives. So, hey, we might see her in Potomac one day. LOL. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Marcella on Potomac. I wouldn't. I think it would be actually kind of like a nice nod. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't mind. I would love to see her with like a Karen. Like, what do those women talk about at lunch, right? Like, what do they do at lunchtime? You know, how are they kikiing? Like, that's really what I want to see. Hey, Miss Bernice, fell for the delusion of who we will not be mentioned. Exactly. Exactly. Hey, Keisha, did Monica know Kyle because she called him a friend? You know, I don't know if she really knew Kyle or not, to be perfectly honest. And according to Monica, people are her kids, people are her daughters, people are her friends. But then the moment you say something she doesn't like, she doesn't know you from a can of paint. Literally what she said on her interview. So who knows? And again, she may have just been saying she was friends with Kyle to add to her own credibility because we didn't know who she was. So if you liked Kyle and you like thought he had integrity, and if she's saying she's Kyle's friend, as humans, we default to, oh, well, if I like this person and this person likes you, then it's probably safe to like you too. You know, that's how things work. You know, your friend introduces you to someone, you kind of default to, oh, this person must be cool because like my friend thinks you're cool. You know, it's like social proof. It's like a referral, right? It's like a referral, basically. Woo! We got some comments going. Ooh. Sorry, guys. My chat's going crazy. Okay. Hey, P at Shayna. It's exhausting. Makes me think perhaps these folks got their A's beat for being mouth and they still can't get over it. I don't know what's going on. Let's see here, you guys. Okay, here's someone we haven't talked to yet. Hey, T-Bird Talks. Those super chats she deleted, the people need to contact YouTube for a refund from Avatar. Yes, I'm telling you, I'm a person who, I don't know about you guys, but if I pay for something and then I don't receive it, you best believe I'm going to be a Karen and be like, may I speak to a manager? Because I'm getting my refund. So I agree with you. I really think that they should contact YouTube for a refund because, like we said before, maybe that actually is going against YouTube rules. Because someone had asked, well, how come YouTube hasn't blocked Monica's channel? So maybe that is a reason. Taking people's super chats and then deleting their comments, to me, that seems like a scam. It seems like a bit of like a fraud going on. So they should contact YouTube. I definitely think they should. 100%. Hey, these pre-T is, if I said your name right. She had no bite, but she was going back to the day of the interview until she seen the doctor on the show. She got angry. Marcella did all that on the show. Yeah, who knows? Hey, Pretty Mary. She goes, yes, I agree, Candy. She watched that video. Yeah, right? I think she did watch the video. I really, really do. I think she watched the video, but she was just pissed and it was Mad Day and she was going gun blazing no matter what. And then when Plez called her out, she was like, well, I haven't seen the video. And then also another thing Monica always does, when she wants to really say something dirty, she doesn't take accountability. So she doesn't say, I think this or I say this. She goes, someone told me. Who told you, Monica? Name your sources. Remember? She's like, someone told me. All these people are saying. Oh, but I didn't watch the video. See? More mind games. So she was saying how she really thought and what she felt. But instead of saying she's saying it, she had someone told me. Someone said. Who is the someone? Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Hey, baby Tay. She says, facts. I think she watched it too. Exactly. I really think she watched it. She was just pissed and she wasn't going down without a fight because that's the narcissistic ego in her. Let's see. Hey, Lexi B. Monica thought she was above talking to Plez. Thank you, Lexi B. Exactly. She thought she was a worker and Plez operated as a peer, as she didn't like that. Exactly, Lexi. I agree with you 100%. Monica thought, who the hell does Plez think she is? That is what Monica thought. And that is why you saw her. I'm shaking. I can't believe this. Someone's calling me. All that crap. Monica thought, who the hell does Plez think she is to quit? Who the hell does Plez think she is to put out her video without my permission? And that is why Monica got so angry. She thought she was better than Plez, and she thought she could control Plez. But she would never have pulled that with her daytime panel. She never would have treated Buffy like that. She never would have treated DJ Ritchie Sky, Tasha K, Monique Samuels, all of them. Monica never would have treated certain people that way. She thought her nighttime panel was disposable. She thought her nighttime panel was beneath her. She thought that they were Team B. And when Plez made her move, Plez did what she had to do, Monica really got out of her mind because she really thought in her simple brain, who does Plez think she is? And that's why you see Monica lost herself, because she really thought Plez was beneath her. And Plez was like, oh no, boo-boo, I'm not beneath anybody. Hey, Kaylu, Plez show was wonderful. I'm so proud of her. I've watched her shows, but the last one was exceptional. Yes, I love Plez. I think we all should go and support her and show her our love. And I think that Plez is really coming into her own beauty, her own purpose, her own platform, all of it. And I'm just excited to see her grow. And I'm Team Plez 100%. Hey, at Siobhan Calhoun, right. On target. Exactly. Hey, Kay Hayes. Yes, I agree. Yes, we do. Hey, Lamont Beats at Mad Love, right? And she's not an Avatar. Ha. Yeah, we all got hit with Yoki Doke with that Avatar. Insane. Hey, Lil Bit. I don't know why people are surprised when the cash cow decides to leave. Exactly. This happens in everyday life and is allegedly why Biggie and Tupac isn't here anymore. Yeah, you just really, you never know. But it's true. People will use you and they will treat you as a cash cow and they will get whatever they can get from you. But the moment you have standards, the moment you create boundaries, the moment you speak up for yourself, that will show you who really is for you and who really isn't for you. Because if you can't say no to someone without them losing their mind and going off on you and doing a smear campaign, then that person never had good intentions for you. And that person was never for you. And not even on a friend level, but even like a professional level. You're allowed to quit a job. You're allowed to quit an internship, because that's basically what they were doing. They were pretty much working for free. I'm sorry, $50 a week, $4 an hour. That to me was even worse, because it would have been one thing if they're like, this is an unpaid internship. That would be one thing. But to try and act like paying them $50 a week, you were actually doing something, Monica, that to me is even more laughable and disgusting. Hey, at Blooming Tales, Marcella don't know them people. Because Marcella said during Kimpire show, she was just like, I didn't know who the players were. I didn't know these panelists. So yeah, I think again, I think it speaks to the assumption that we as people have. If you see a panel, it's the assumption that they're friends or they hang out behind the scenes, right? Like sometimes we'll have that assumption. Like even think about like ensemble cast on like a TV show, right? We think, oh, I wonder if they are friends, when they're not filming or whatever it is. But they have their own separate lives and they may not know each other. And they're just coming together for this one common purpose. And Marcella was just like, I don't know those people. I was just there for Kiki. Monica lost her damn mind. Leave my name out of this. And that's, again, why I'm really, really happy that she came out and told her own story, so that we could get that perspective, because I was looking at her all types of crazy before she did her interview. Hey, at these pretees, Marcella put that on her own back. Exactly. Hey, Layla. Imagine calling someone you never met a day in your life or never seen mommy. When I heard she wanted them to refer to her like that, I died. No, exactly. But that was a part of her manipulation. But again, she knew who to play that with because Plus was like, I ain't calling you mommy. Bishop was like, I'm not calling you mommy. She lied and said So Debonair called her a second mommy or a mom or something like that. But So Debonair came out and said, I ain't never called that lady that. I think it was just Schoolboy. But Schoolboy made it known that she had such a strained relationship with her own mother. So Monica used that as a way to manipulate Schoolboy. And I think you really have to be careful with people who throw on the term mommy, like a daughter, like a son. Oh, we're family. This is a family. Because they use those terms to manipulate and control. Because if you think about it, even Ples said that. She even fell for the okie doke. She said, God told me to move. She got all these vibes to leave. But then she was like, oh, but no, we're a family, right? I'm helping, right? Like, they're not really treating me this way, right? Because we're a family. You can be a family and still be toxic and unhealthy as all get out. So I think people use those terms, mommy and family, as a way to control and to manipulate and to gaslight. And I think people put up with a lot more than what they usually would have put up with if it wasn't under the guise of family. So if you guys are liking this, be sure to like and subscribe and share. Hey, Tamara Dawkins. Also, it has been stated Dr. Griffin ain't no doctor. Spill the tea. Her dissertation can't be found and they are published in Searchable. Wow. She needs to talk to Dr. Wendy and get some of her degrees since she's not really a doctor out here claiming to be. Thank you for the tea. Hey, Tanya. I congrats sometime in chat and it was deleted. So if it wasn't about her, it got deleted. Wow. I believe it. And that is exactly what Ples was saying. That's exactly what Ples was saying, that they were deleting chats that weren't either favorable, that they were favorable to Ples, but I guess she was doing it in general to people. That is so sick and nasty. Just think about that. Okay. Marcella. Oh, whoop. We're going to get you back. Hey, P. Marcella must stop giving up her sources. She brags too much at times, and she unknowingly gives out info. True. I do think that sometimes it definitely came across that she was bragging, talking about all of her money and talking about like her society and how she retired at the age of 40 and now she does all that stuff and everything else. So yeah, sometimes it definitely did come off as like braggadocious, where she would like say all that. But I think listening to her talk about it in the interview, I don't think that's how she meant. I think she might need a little bit of self-awareness so that the way in which she means to come across is the way she's coming across, rather than the way she means to coming across is being misconstrued because she's not aware of the way in which she's being received by people. So I think it's really more of like a self-awareness thing. Hey, stay focused. Monica didn't want Ples to find out who she was. Exactly. That's why she didn't return the phone. The contract called Monica out. Yes. And honestly, I low-key think this. I think Ples had already made up her mind that she was out. I think she was asking for contracts and she was like, oh, well, what would the compensation be for one day? Just out of like curiosity. And also because she wanted to figure out who Monica was, which I think was the right thing to do and what she should want. Like, this woman is, like, you're on this woman's platform, you know, she's your employer. Like, you should know who she is and what's going on. And I think Monica, exactly what you said, was trying to dodge it. So she didn't call Ples back. She didn't take Ples seriously. She didn't have a contract, all because she wanted to stay anonymous. But when you start doing legal contracts, once you go down that road, 1099s, W-9s, 1040s, whatever it is, then you have to actually say who you are, and she didn't want to do that. So I think you're right. Definitely. Hey, Charisse Trills. I love your necklace. The fact that Monica wouldn't look at the IG video nor the YouTube live, but was commenting like she was so right about her stance wasn't for me. It made me question her previous credentials. Exactly. If you want to get up on here talking about, I've been doing this for 8 years, and I've been on this show, and I've been here, and I've been all up in arms, trying to be a credible journalist. But yeah, you get up on your own platform, you go against your own panelist, and then you have the audacity to admit that you never watched the video, you never watched the live, and that someone told you something, and this is why you're getting all out of pocket and out of character. That right there just showed you how unprofessional, and uncredible she really is. And that goes to what the bishop was talking about and everybody else, was how she started using clickbait. And to me, I think it was when Marcella came under the dark cloud of that big fight that happened with her and Schoolboy and Princess and so Debonair. And then when Monica started switching to using clickbait, I think that is really when the energy shifted. And so Monica would try and put, and even Plez said this, she would try to put out a narrative, and Plez would be like, hold on, like, where are the facts? Like, that's not what I heard. That's not what I said. For perfect example, the T.I. and Tiny thing. When her whole thing was like, T.I. confesses in church. He didn't confess. Not at all. And then Plez was like, I didn't hear a confession. She was like, come on, repeat the lines. She was like bullying her to say what she wanted her to say. So yeah, she lost credibility a long time ago. We've been on here for 1 hour and 45 minutes, y'all. I gotta sip some water. But if you're in here, please like and subscribe. Oh yes, and I will be monetized soon, hopefully. But until the meantime, you can cash at me if you want. No pressure. Okay. Hey, Audrey. I was a teacup, and I'm very disappointed and hurt about this. And I feel like I, along with many others, was hoodwinked. I want her gone. This is a big scam. Yes, I agree with you 100%. We had talked about this in my video about her being a narcissist. I think this is why this has been such a big deal, is that we all felt betrayed. Like, we all felt like we lost something, right? Like, we were all showing up. We were teacups. We were, standing for Plez or for Schoolboy, for Monica, for Marcella. We all had our favorites, and it was fun, and it was all this stuff. And I feel like we all got collectively played. We were all on this big collective delusion. And so I think that's why this has blown up to this level, because it wasn't Monica just playing her panel. It was Monica playing all of us. And so I think we all collectively feel let down and hoodwinked. So I agree with you 100%. And that is exactly why it's been like this, because we all collectively feel played. So I agree with you 100%. 100%. My StreamYard's being a little slow, guys. I'm sorry. It's coming up. Do, 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 do. Hey, Fararanda. I didn't watch the shows on TI. Those are legal allegations, ergo dangerous territory. Very true. Very, very true. Compromising situation. Also for Plez to comment on legal matters on the fly. Most lawyers wouldn't. Yes, and that's what Plez was saying. She was saying how, Monica would have these legal documents that she would be like, oh, can you read this? And Plez is like, you couldn't send this to me before to like preview and all that stuff. So yeah, and I think Plez was starting to feel very compromised and very put on the spot. So that's what I really think. I think Plez was feeling very compromised. And also, I think the thing for Plez is that she felt it was intentional, if that makes sense. Like, she felt like Monica was intentionally putting her on the spot, and that she was intentionally trying to be like, oh, you're this big bad lawyer. Here, read this and see how you feel. Whatever. Like, it seemed like Monica was trying to like get Ples caught out there. Let's see. You guys, we've been going for almost 2 hours, you guys. In a little bit, it will be 2 hours. So if you are here, you're having fun, you're having a good kiki, don't forget to subscribe and like. And my Cash App is 1214 Media. No pressure. Everyone is always welcomed, no matter what. Hey, Kaylu. Ples just wanted to know how the announcement of her departure was being handled. Exactly. No response, so she did it herself. Wasn't about money. Exactly. Ples was doing it above board. And this is the thing. Even if there had been an announcement of her departure on All About the Tea, Ples still had the right to go on her platform and announce her departure how she wanted to. It was her platform. You know what I mean? Like if it's your IG profile, if it's your YouTube profile, if it's your thing, you're allowed to talk about it. You're allowed to talk about your experience. And even if it wasn't, you're always allowed to tell your own experience of something. You're always allowed to tell your own story. Like it kills me with that. Kills me. Hey, Natural Pulse Sister TV. Girl, you look good. I'm new to your channel and just subscribed. Thank you so much. I so agree with you. It never gets old watching a train wreck. There's so much content. There's so much to unpack. Finally fall off the track. Finally fall off the tracks. Like at least do your research before you comment about a topic. Exactly. Exactly. She should have done her research, or she at least should have. Let's give Monica the benefit of the doubt and say she, in reality, didn't watch Ples's video, which I think she didn't. I think that was a big lie. But let's just say in reality, she didn't watch Ples's show. Instead of going on there all hot-headed, sounding absolutely crazy and making a damn fool of yourself, what you should have said was, yes, Ples gave her 2 weeks. Ples gave her 2 weeks notice 2 weeks ago. We were planning something behind the scenes. I wish Ples well. Stay tuned for a nice bon voyage. Point blank, period. And she could have kept it moving. And she could have kept the scam rolling. But it was her own ego that got in the way. Literally, she could have been like, oh, yes, we wish Ples well. We'll be giving her a send-off. She gave me her 2 weeks notice. We hate to see her go, but we're so excited for her new chapter. Done. But Monica had to come out talking about health issues and mental health stuff. Girl, bye. Have several seats. Hey, Goody Gabor. Another thing, after watching them and subscribing, I am hesitant to go. I will like this live, though. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yes, I mean, that's the thing. Use your own discernment. Use your own discernment. If something feels right to you, then support it. If it doesn't feel right to you, then don't support it. Don't let anything or anyone dictate what you do. Just do what you feel is right in your gut. Yay! Hey, Edith Ojo. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Ojo? New to your channel from London. You sound articulate. Keep up the good content. Please do not deviate like Monica. Thank you so much. And hello from London. And speaking of that word articulate, it might get you in trouble. For anybody who watches The Real Housewives of New York, you know what I'm saying. So yes, but thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, Caroline Lourdes. Lourdes, I hope I pronounced that right too. You guys have such fun names. Narcissistic people despise losing control. Exactly. The avatar lost control and could no longer control the panelists, so she lost it. Exactly. That is why she went nuts. Because people were doing what they wanted to do. And she could no longer control them or the narrative, and that's why she lost her damn mind. That is why we saw her go crazy, because she literally lost control. And that's why you can even see in Marcella's interview, Marcella was just like, I saw a side to her that I had never seen, that I didn't even know was there. She really showed us exactly who she was. All of her mask came off. And that is just insane. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Hey, Soon Lily. Plez heard them bad-mouthing her. They got tangled in the deceitful web they weaved. Yes, Plez did hear them bad-mouthing her, and Monica lied and said that never happened, but then Bishop came back and co-signed it. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to stay anywhere where people are bad-mouthing me, where I'm getting paid $50 a week. No, it's not worth it. I mean, money is one thing, but the truest, most precious commodity is time. And that is one thing you cannot create, and that is one thing you can never get back is time. And if you are spending 14 to 21 hours of your life making somebody else rich and famous, you're going to have a really big gut check when you realize that you are being paid nothing, and on top of that, they're treating you like garbage. So, yeah, I would have been out too. I definitely would have been out too. Hey, Kathy Black, subscribe. Thank you so much. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the love. Let's see here. At Young Rich. Richie said he wanted nothing to do with it and wanted everyone to win. Very, very diplomatic, and that sounds like DJ Richie Sky, basically being like, keep me out of it, keep me out of it. Ridiculous. Hey, at Lovers Rock, Monica gets $8K a month for that show. She gave him 200 to 300. Exactly. She was making bank. Super chats, sponsorships, endorsements, and then what YouTube gives you for views and clicks and all that stuff. She was making a lot of money. Oh, and also membership fees. If you were like in the community, there was different tiers you could pay to get into. Membership fees, I mean, you make so much money on membership fees. You know, think about it, like a Netflix monthly membership, how much money they make. Like, it's continuous income that they get every single month. She was making a lot of money, a lot. Hey, is Atalahi, cancel this avatar. Cancel this avatar. Exactly. I hate when people are like, protect the avatar. I'm like, no. We're not protecting the avatar. No. Hey, at Cherry, at Brian Thornhill. Yeah, her Karen showed when she started screaming, I need to say something. I'm shaking right now. Yeah, she was a mess, and she was gaslighting everybody. Whew, you guys, we have been out here for almost 2 hours. So I'm going to stay for us a couple more minutes. So while we're here, please like and subscribe and share. And join me again tomorrow at 2 o'clock p.m. in that specific standard time, 5 o'clock Eastern time, where I will be going live again with either some more all about the tea drama, or maybe we'll do a review of a fun reality show. Shout out to Young Rich. I know you want me to do Encore, so don't worry. That is still on the list. I have to watch it. Being completely transparent, I don't really know the girls on there. I don't know, like, the bands they came from. So I'm going to have to watch it and see if I can give, I have to practice what I preach. I have to make sure that I can give an informed commentary. So yeah. Let's see here before we head out. Hey, Nihar. With Super Chats and Cash App, Shrew's bringing in at least 1K a night. Damn. You know what? Maybe she was actually bringing in at least 1K a night, because if you think about it, when people were doing 25, damn, you're right. She was making bank. She was making more money than we even thought or knew. You're right. You're really right. That is crazy. Hold on, Young Rich. You don't remember Cheetah Girl? That's the thing. Like, I'm telling you, like, I was watching some commentaries on it, and I'm gonna watch it, but like, I gotta see. I remember what's her name? Shamari. I remember her from Atlanta, and then I remember Aubrey from Danity Kane. So I gotta check it out. Hey, Michelle Scott, 1K a night. Damn, Tam, we in the wrong business. Exactly. Why do you think I'm on here? I'm like, come on, let's get these YouTube streams hot. Exactly. But she was pimping them. Think about it, because I mean, you're right. She probably was making 1K a night. That's insane, because that panel got her to over 100K, and every night people are sending in super chats, and she was keeping all of it. She wasn't giving any of them anything. And when you really think about it, what was Monica doing? She came in with some fake tea, a clickbait title, would talk for 2 seconds, and then be like, panel, what do you think? For $1K a night. I could do that. I could do that. Hey, King's Finest at Candy. Your skin looks amazing and it's popping. Thank you. My new nickname for you is Candy Poppington. LOL. I love that. I will take that. Thank you. Thank you so much. And you too. You look fly. King's Finest, you look fly. Yes. Oh, yes. Hey, at Avalon Park. I have been black for decades. I never heard a black woman state that she's been shaken. And when I super chatted, I thought she was sharing the goods. I had no idea. People can fool you. Exactly. And that's another reason why we talked about it before, but I'll just reiterate it because it's worth repeating. I am so happy Marcella gave her perspective because when she, I don't know why it didn't click before, but when she said, oh, when I was giving super chats, I thought it went to everyone. And it clicked because I thought the same thing too. I thought the super chats would go to everyone on the panel. Like they would like divvy it up. Like at the end of the night or at the end of the week, we got X amount in super chats. Monica gets this percentage and then they divvy up the rest. But apparently Monica was keeping everything. And I bet you that's the reason why Monica didn't want to change the panel, because she was like, who can I fool? Like, who is dumb enough to let me make $1,000 a night while they make $50 a week? Insane. Let's see what y'all are saying. Hey, Sharon Turner, that was so disrespectful to even use mental anything. It was extremely disrespectful. And Monica is not stupid. She knew exactly the seed that she was planting. She knew exactly what she was saying, and she knew exactly what she was doing. Monica is not stupid. She used, she's going to look at her mental health because she was trying to play Plez, and she wanted to plant that seed. And Plez is a lawyer. That could really mess up her livelihood. Like, you don't put that out there on someone. It's ridiculous. So yeah, it was dirty. It was absolutely dirty. And Monica burned down her own house. And I wouldn't be surprised if YouTube has some type of repercussion for her, because she can't be taking super chats and then deleting comments. That is insane. Insane. At Darren Hood, true. Ain't that right, boo? True. Yes. Hey, Renee, especially not the way they dox Plez. Exactly. That was her whole government name and her employer. That's evil on a whole other level. It really was. That was some grimy get back stuff. That was some grimy get back. That was so nasty. And I'm telling you, Monica is spewing all this hate and all this evil. That will come back to her, because you don't put out that level of evil and that level of toxicity into this world and expect nothing to come back to you. Vengeance is mine, said the Lord. So I'm going to let her get back and call it a day. Call it a day. Hey, Sharon Turner. Oh, subscribe. You're a natural. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for just spending this time with me. I appreciate it. You guys make me happy. Hey, beautiful Mary. Yes, Candy, I agree. Marcella put a lot of things into perspective with her interview. Yes, Chair appears to be a lying, messy manipulator. Exactly. Again, I am so happy Marcella spoke, because when she spoke, everything clicked in a different way. I feel like Marcella's perspective was the missing piece, where you really went, oh, this was actually some deep level manipulative bullshit that was going on. Her perspective really was that missing piece. And it just goes, to me, I think this should just be a collective reminder for everyone. Be mindful who you give your energy to, who you give your time to, who you take guidance from. Just really be mindful of the company that you keep, especially when you are in a vulnerable position. Because I think that Monica saw, to varying degrees, I think everybody on that panel had a vulnerability, was in a vulnerable place, had gone through something, and was still in the process of healing from it. And I think Monica saw that and preyed on it and exploited it. You know, schoolboy with her identity and coming out and her strained relationship with her mother and her family. You know, Plez had talked about her stillborn birth, and she had talked about her sexual assault, and, you know, taking a step back from dating and all that stuff. And then I don't know what the bishop was going through. I'm not really sure what his backstory was, but I'm sure there was probably something there. Monica's really nasty about him too. So Debonair talked about his molestation. Marcella had lost 7 people in her family. She lost her friend Kyle. So it was really a panel of people going through individual yet collective trauma. And I think that to me is what is really disgusting, because they were all so strong and brave and really beautiful to share those intimate scars and wounds that they had with all of us. And I think that is really why the panel worked so well. And I really think that is why the panel did so well. I don't really think it was about, sure, it was like salacious, the topics and the clickbait and all that stuff. But I think at its core, the reason why it resonated with us so much was because this panel was so raw and authentic with us. Monica never really shared any of her real personal business, but yet she let her panel be exposed that way. You know, for a woman to talk about being sexually assaulted and giving birth to a stillborn, you know, for a man to talk about being molested as a young child, you know, for a lesbian woman who kind of presents a little manly. I don't want to say the wrong word because I don't mean to be disrespectful at all. My own ignorance, I don't know what the correct term is, so I don't want to use the wrong term. But, you know, so like dealing with that, and like Marcella, the deaths. I really think that's why we were so invested in this panel, because if you are human, if you are alive, you've lost something, whether it's someone or some part of yourself, you've lost it. We've all gone through our own traumas, little traumas and big traumas. And I really think that is why the teacups were so strong. It was because we all came together for 2 or 3 hours a night, laughed and kikied, and shared trauma and healing. And I really think that was the core of it. And I think that's another reason why this hurts so much, knowing that Monica, the person who put this all together, was playing all of us. She wasn't using their vulnerabilities as a way to bring us together for collective compassion. She was using their vulnerabilities as a way to exploit for money and subscribers. I think that is why this hit so deep for so many of us. It's because we thought we were, to use her word, becoming a teacup family. But it turned out she was just playing all of us. And I think that's why it hurts so much. So let's see what you guys are saying. Ooh, I like this. Yeah. This is going to be a good comment. So, at Sweetly Favored, wow, Monica is diabolical. She is. She was diabolical and very, very calculated. And I'm about to put up a comment that someone said that I so agree with, and I really want to highlight this comment that's coming up from Rayito del Sol. Monica said herself that she collected strays. That says a lot about how gross she is. Exactly. She did say that. You are 100% right. She did say that. She said she collected strays. And when you think about how nasty and how dirty she was on her tell-all interview, when she was just like, oh, this is a lawyer who knows all about reality TV. Oh, this is a bishop, a man of the cloth who woman bashes. Oh, this is a lesbian who presents as male or whatever she said. You know, oh, these are good characters. This is going to be interesting. Blah 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 blah. So clearly, she is telling us that she intentionally targeted these people because she thought she could manipulate and control them, because she saw them as beneath her and she saw them as strays. Whereas we, the audience, saw them as ourselves. You know, we all have duality. You know, just because you're a lawyer, that doesn't mean you can't like reality TV. You know what I mean? Like, just because, you know, It doesn't matter. We all have dual things. You can be highly educated and still love a good ratchet show. You could be a man of the cloth and still have, opinions about, we're not monolithic people. We are allowed to be complex. But what Monica saw was a way to exploit. So we were all being like, oh, so Debonair is talking about being molested. That happened to my cousin. Maybe, whatever it is. Or wow, she's talking about, being sexually assaulted and not dating and all this stuff. I can relate to that. That happened to me. That happened to this person. That happened to this person. So we all thought we were creating community. Monica thought, I got a bunch of fools I can exploit. Because exactly what Rayuto said. She said she collected strays. So that shows you exactly what she thought about everybody on that panel. And more importantly, what she thought about us. Because we were the ones liking the videos, subscribing, commenting, sharing, super chatting. Monica made $1,000 a night, however much money she made off of our backs and our money. So that right there shows you what she thought about us. Remember, she used to be like, shut up, you're stupid. You must have not been listening. What are you, dumb? What are you, all that stuff. It was ridiculous what she was saying. Absolutely ridiculous. Let's see what you guys are saying in the comment section. Sorry if you hear construction. They're working on the pool. Hey, Mary. And she did not value their time. Those shows went on for hours. Exactly. I couldn't stay awake, but day panel was 60-minute period. That's what I was saying. She knew who to play with, and she knew who not to play with. The day panel, to me, I think was only for her credibility. And then I think the night panel was for her to exploit for super chats, views, and likes. That's what I think. 100%. Hey, at Lovers Rock, it's sad because she instigated the panel to dog out celebrities like Shakana while hiding her face, but the panel was exposed. Exactly. And that's why Shakana went after Marcella and put Marcella's face on her Instagram channel, but she had to take it down once Marcella got her lawyers involved. So yeah, so she wants you to do her dirty work while her hands stay clean. It was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Hey, Leonora. She was from the beginning trying to sabotage Plez. Yes, and because the first time did not work, she's still trying to wipe her out, not only on YouTube but in her personal life. Disgraceful. Yeah, she was. I think she was jealous of Plez. Because usually when people try and take you down, it's not because they think you're beneath them. It's because they think you're above them. And in their mind, they want to knock you down a peg or two. They want to get you down to their level or beneath them. So, yeah, even though she called them strays, clearly she was very intimidated by Plez. Clearly. Ridiculous. Hey, Cherry. Monica has another clickbait title. Wendy Williams dating Gary Owens. She's doubling down with the clickbaits. Now, y'all all know Wendy Williams ain't dating Gary Owens. And whoever is over there watching All About the Tea, I mean, do you, boo-boo, but it won't be me. It will not be me. Hey, little bit. That's crazy that really no one came out to defend her, Monica. Exactly. Nobody wants to put their name in their mess. Nobody credible. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. True. Hey, Avalon Park. Monica got the nerve to speak of Plez mental health, but she hired Wile E. Coyote, who had a real mental breakdown in 2018 at a Dallas library in 2018. It was on the news there. He had to be taken away. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't researched that, but all I am saying is mental health is nothing to be ashamed of, and it is definitely nothing that should be weaponized. And I think that is what is so disgusting about what Monica did. She tried to weaponize mental health against Plez. that to me is what the disgusting part is. And it's just, ugh, it's disgusting and shameful. And I don't know, maybe the panel should get together and do a class action to get some of those super chat money back. That's what I would do for sure. Hey, Tamra. Michelle Scott sound familiar. Oh, okay. Okay, Michelle Scott. Yes. Hey, Ms. Magic. I would have had to interrupt that panel to remind Cartoon Face I only have one mother since she wants to label herself everyone moms. Yes, honestly, I wouldn't have been on that panel. No way. I would just have to come up myself because it was, in the beginning, it really did seem genuine and real. But then it was that shift. Late February, early March, it was that shift. And if anybody is trying to make me call them mommy or you're my surrogate daughter, no, thank you. I'm a grown-ass woman. Like, I'm not your surrogate daughter. I'm an adult. Last time I checked. It's insane. Hey, Terry Collins. So glad I found you. Oh, yeah, you are a true professional at this. Bevy would know you're new to these. Never would know you're new to these YouTube streets. LOL. Better than most. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, I am brand new to these YouTube streets. I've had my channel for 6 years, but I never did anything on it. So I just got the like, you know, like the name or whatever, but I didn't post or I didn't do much, maybe a video here and there every couple years. But now I've started, and last week was my first week doing live. So this is my second week ever. So if you guys are here, if you're liking my content, you know, please subscribe and like and cash at me if you want, 1214 Media. But again, only if you want to. We are all here just to have some fun. But yeah, it was insane what Monica was doing. And thank you so much, Terry. Hey, Leonera. I honestly think she connected to Bravo TV. I honestly think she's connected to Bravo TV to keep their ratings up. And I think she is not black, but hung out with blacks. Oh, I honestly feel she's connected in the entertainment industry, Bravo. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if she was connected to Bravo or some entertainment studio. Like because first of all, where was she getting her tea from? And then also the stories that she told were always kind of slanted certain ways. I don't know what race she is. I really don't know. Who knows with that avatar looking thing? Here we go. Hey, AP News. She said that she was connected to an executive at Bravo. Yeah, because remember she would say how she would get emails from them. And then that's also how she got the news about Real Housewives of OC. When they had emailed her saying that Shannon was coming out with the whole thing about Bronwyn offering her child some narcotic or some drug or something like that. So she's definitely connected to Bravo. And she talked about how she knew Vicki Gunvalson too and all that stuff. So who knows? Who knows? But she's definitely connected to some people. At Lovers Rock, everyone hit that like button in Marcella's voice. Thank you so much. Hit that button. Yeah. Absolutely. Crazy. Hey, Debbie. Hey, Debbie. I'm not going to slaughter your last name. It seems beautiful. Richard Kuchnet. I'm sorry. Hey, Debbie. Why would I call someone mom I never seen? Thank you. Why would I call somebody mom who's not my mom? No. You know, it's different if it was like a family friend or someone who raised you or an auntie who raised you or, you know what I mean? Something where it was like legit and made sense. But and again, disclaimer, everybody, if a grown woman is asking another grown adult to call her mom, run. Oh, I don't know. Say hi to some of y'all people. Hey, Kimbird. Hi. Let's see what you guys are saying. Hey, Sharon Turner at Sherry Turner. Is Monica black or white? Because she stated she was white, but she sounds very black. Well, Monica on the show always said she was black. And remember, she said it was disgusting for two light-skinned people to procreate, to have a child. I thought that was so derogatory. And remember, she said how she likes her men blackity black, black, black. To me, that was almost like it's like you're doing the most. And like you're trying too hard, and what are you hiding? It's like someone who doesn't want to be called a racist, and they say, oh, but I have black friends. No, I have black friends. I'm not racist, you know? So she was like, oh, it's disgusting for two light-skinned people to procreate, and I like blackity black black men. It's like, okay, but like you're doing too much, sis. Like you don't have to, you know what I mean? Like if you're black, you're black. You only got to prove, like you don't have to prove it. Like she was doing the most. So who knows? Who knows? She might be a computer program for all we know. Monica might just be, Monica might be Siri for all we know. She might be Alexa. So who knows? Okay, guys, we have been on here for 2 hours and 20 minutes. So I am going to call it a night. But thank you so much for joining me. I will be back here tomorrow, same time, same place. So if you have not subscribed, please do. If you haven't liked it, please do. If you haven't shared it, please do. And join me next time. And yeah, if you want to support, it's all there at the banner. Cash App, 1214 Media, PayPal, candywashington@gmail.com. Anything I am grateful for, but the most thing that I'm grateful for is your presence and just being here. So let me know, what shows do you want me to recap, what pop culture, and I also love talking about wellness, and I love talking about self-care. So I want to do, and let me know if you guys would be open to this. I want to start doing self-care sessions here where I'll have a topic about self-care, whether it's like relationships, friendships, boundaries, career, mental health, and self-esteem and positivity and like all that stuff. And then I'll have you guys call in. You can talk about whatever you're going through and we can work through it together. So let me know if you would be open to that. Let me know. Let me check the comment section now to see what you guys are saying. Woo, the comments are going so fast. Okay. Yay! Like seeing the pattern behavior for her. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so Shayna Lit says, what's the agenda for the week? Okay, so tomorrow is TBD. I'm going to see what's trending in the news, or maybe do a self-care session. Let me guys know what you think. And then Wednesday, I think, is going to be a review of Real Housewives of New York, I want to say. And then Thursday will be a review of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It might be inverted, depending on which one comes on first. But I plan to do Beverly Hills on Beverly Hills and New York on those days, and then tomorrow's TBD. So let me know what you guys want to watch. But that so far is the agenda, and I'm gonna try and come back at the same time every day. Okay, guys. All right, I'm really out this time, but I love you all, and I thank you for being here. And stay safe and be happy. Enjoy your life. Enjoy each other. Don't take anything too seriously, and watch out for narcissistic snakes. So I will see you guys tomorrow. I love you all. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye.